let's talk a bit about this Daimon character that I've brought up several times in the previous videos. So the word Daimon came from ancient Greece and refers to these super helpful dream figures that can occasionally show up and help you out with shit. So don't get this word confused though with a demon. I know they sound very similar, but they're actually like complete opposites. And also wrote this in here, which stood out to me, where he points out how the daimons are figures that stand between you and your subconscious mind or the mystery or the divine. And that stood out to me because I've always thought of them as being one and the same, but then after reading that and then reflecting on my past experiences with them, they do tend to act more like middlemen. Like when they show up, they'll want to give you an experience or take you somewhere or lead you to some even way more powerful like uber godlike being. And even the daimons themselves, like they seem like to be like a step above you, right? And so like the godlike beings are even a step above them, so there's just like different levels to it, I guess. He also writes this: the I, like the big I, thinks it operates alone and appropriates all feelings, intuitions, thoughts, and insights into itself. But if we implement the way of daimonic thinking, again, not demonic, daimonic, we understand that we are actually just the front man in a larger enterprise. And this can be felt really easily within a lucid dream. Because once you're lucid, you're operating kind of like you are in waking life, where you seem separate from everything else. And you quickly realize that everything outside of how you're operating your own self, like the dream in general, is just so much more immensely powerful than you are. Like anything you want to get done basically has to be signed off and okayed by your subconscious mind to even, do anything, teleport somewhere or, make something appear or even go flying if that's the case, right? So it is definitely like a team effort in there. He also writes how the daimon is like a challenging coach, and essentially meaning that these figures, again, they're like one step above you. They exude some level of authority, over you. This guy, James Hillman, writes, a personal daimon is an accompanying guide who remembers your calling. The daimon motivates, it protects, it invents, and persists with stubborn fidelity. It resists compromising reasonableness and often forces deviance and oddity upon its keeper, and especially when it's neglected or opposed. And this stood out to me too, because I was like, I mean, in one sense, in order to find them, like they don't typically show up, at least for me, just kind of randomly. They really only tend to come when I'm actively searching them out. So I thought like, man, then you obviously aren't neglecting them. But I guess, and this might be an interesting dream experiment to try out, try and invite them to come see you and then try ignore them. Maybe then that would anger them. But I thought that was interesting. And then we'll close it out with this. So finding the daimon. We just have to listen to what our instincts tell us, pay attention to what our fascinations are, what we fantasize about, what strikes us, and what it is that we see in the world, where our eyes are drawn to and what we love and fear. Our feelings and thoughts are often the way that the daimon communicates with us. So I think there he's referring to kind of like waking life stuff. But when I read that, it made me think about in dream type of things, because really you want to go to try and find these more like powerful places, like everything they listed in there. And that just ups the chances of you having a more, impactful lucid dreaming experience, and also up the chances of you finding more helpful dream figures within the space, whether that be just, a regular helpful dream figure or even the daimon. Which actually, so like one way I personally kind of separates these, and I'll give you an example, is this was a long time ago, but I was practicing a lot of trying to teleport through mirrors and shit at one point. And I would oftentimes get into this problem where I would get to the mirror and then I wouldn't be able to go through it. It would start to feel hard and solid all of a sudden. So one way I would get around that, I was ask dream figures around me to help me, teleport to this thing. So then say like, one time I was in this empty room with nobody. I see a mirror. I'm like, oh, great. I should try to go through it. Couldn't get through it. And I thought, oh man, like I want help. And then these two dream figures showed up and they picked up the mirror and they helped to pass it over my body to teleport through it. So, for me personally, I wouldn't quite consider that to be a daimon itself, as those would just kind of be like more helpful dream figures. But anyway, those are some things on the daimon, and yeah, try search them out.